Hey everyone, welcome back. We're continuing our review of the whole house heat loss and gain worksheet. We just finished up in another video talking about design conditions and how we come up with these inside design temperatures for winter and summer and outside design temperatures where the home is affected by the weather. If you have any questions on that, you can always go back to the other video and review that. In this video, we're going to be covering Table A, heating, windows, and doors. I'm going to zoom in into that section so you see what I'm talking about. Okay. All right, get a little closer. Here we go. All right. So Table A, heating, windows, and doors. Now before we get to this section, at this point you should have all your measurements for your windows. You should have your measurements for your windows for each window. You should have your total measurements of all the windows. You should know the kind of windows or the type of windows you have. And so how do you know that? Well, you're physically going to measure each window, write it down, and create a list of how many windows, where the window's located on the west, north, south, or east side of the building or home. And you're going to create like a log sheet and log all that information. So the area for each window, you're going to physically measure it. Or if this is a brand new home, you'll have like a schedule or plans that tell you the size of the windows. It'll tell you the measurements of that window. And it'll tell you the window type. Now, if you look over to the left side of this chart under window type, it's going to give us some information about the type of window. Now, over here in this box, in this section of glass, so single glass, double glass, or triple glass. So this is the number of glass in the window. So a single pane glass window means there's just one sheet of glass in that window. A double pane glass window means there's two pieces of glass in that window. And then the same thing with the triple pane glass window, there's three sheets of glass in that one single window. Now, as you notice, the more you add glass to the window, the more energy efficient it becomes. If we look at these numbers here, these numbers are the BTUs that's able to pass through that single pane glass window. We call that the U factor, or just the BTU rating of that window. How much heat is able to pass through that window. So as you double the glass in that window, it decreases or restricts that BTUs that it's going to let out of that window. So in the heating season, the winter season, we are putting heat into the home. So the house is being heated up and it's holding heat. Now, a place where heat can leave the house, besides the walls and the ceiling, are the windows. Now, if you ever sat next to a window in the wintertime and felt the draft come through the windows, that's that heat leaving the windows near that window. And windows are a big place where we lose heat in the wintertime. So as we double the glass, we also increase the energy efficiency where we hold more heat in the house. So as we go down, or I should say, as we remove glass from the window, it becomes less energy efficient where more heat is able to escape. So before we talk about inserting the areas and calculating the BTU loss, let's look at what a double hung casement and sliding window is, and fixed window. And we'll talk about these other ones as well. So let me pull up some information. So what's the difference between a casement and double hung window? Well, a double hung window is made from two pieces, an upper sash and a lower sash. And these sashes slide up and down within the window frame, or it can slide side to side. A casement window opens and closes with a hinge on one side of the window. And so this is a window that the window opens, swinging and closing open, usually with some type of mechanism that operates that window. So let's continue. Now that we know what a double hung window is, this is mainly what you'll see in homes now, sliding. Now, what is a fixed window? Well, a fixed window is pretty much exactly that. It's a window that doesn't open or close. And these traditionally are for like awning windows or more like a design feature in a home. Nevertheless, it's a window that doesn't open. Okay. Now we're going to talk about a jalousie windows. So jalousie windows, these are like kind of old school. We don't really see these in Kern County or California too much unless you're on the coast where you don't really have that huge temperature difference. So these are, I guess you could call them glass slats that allow a whole lot of ventilation to come through. It could be more like for decorative style and also air ventilation. But this is a jalousie windows. This is what they look like. What about a sliding glass door? Well, it is just that. It's a door that slides and it's made out of glass. We see these in, well, everywhere. Probably most homes have some type of sliding door. If not, this is what a sliding door, glass door looks like. It's going to have two glasses. You're going to have one glass on the interior and another glass on the exterior that separates the inside from the outside. And you could have a triple pane glass door, but that would be a more energy efficient sliding door. Now, what about a storm door? Now, so a storm door is a door that sits on the outside of your main door. So a storm door is separate from the main door that has the deadbolt, right? That's the security of your house. A storm door is going to be like some type of, it could be a screening, but most of the time it looks like it's glass or plastic. It's just another layer of door for a home. And they include this because it does give some benefit of resistance to heat leaving your home, but not much. So let's go back to the worksheet. All right, now that we understand what a double hung casement window and a sliding window is, a fixed window, a jalousie, sliding doors, and other doors, every other door we're going to just put under this category right here. Okay? So, for the most part, we are going to stick with a double hung casement door or sliding door windows, sorry. And these are the subcategories of those windows. Does that window have one glass, two glasses, or a triple pane glass? We're going to work with all three of these sections in class. So how do we fill out this chart? So let's go to, again, like I said, you're going to walk around the house, you're going to measure the windows, you're going to document every window, its measurements, and calculate the area. So for each window, when you measure the length and width, it's going to give you square feet. You're going to add up all these square feet of all the windows and the doors. Typically a home has two doors, a front door and a back door. So you're going to get 42 square feet. When you add up all these numbers, you're going to get, this is just an example, 197 square feet. Okay, let's go back to our worksheet. So in this example, we're going to use a double glass. And I believe we had a total, let's see, we know the doors were 42 square feet for two doors at 21 square feet each. And then the windows, so I actually forgot the number. So we're going to go back and look at it, and it's going to be 197. So I'm going to enter 197 minus 42. That gives us 155 square feet for the windows. And when you add that up, it's 197. So how do we calculate the total BTU loss? So the double glass on a double hung casement window loses about 0.9 BTUs for every square foot. And so we calculated all the windows square feet and we added it all together. So we go 0.9 BTUs times 155 square feet, and which gives us roughly 140 BTUs of loss. 100 BTUs an hour we're losing out those set of windows. What about the doors? Well, the door, it's 1.3 times 42 square feet equals 54.6. So we could just call that 55. 55 BTUs an hour of loss. So when we add up 140 from our windows plus 55, it gives us 195 BTUs hour of loss through those windows and doors. And this is a simple review of how to fill out this worksheet on Table A, heating, windows, and doors. If you have questions on what we covered, talking about the different types of windows or the factors of BTU loss for the single pane glass, double pane glass, or triple pane glass, you can always email me or ask me in class. I'll look forward to seeing you guys in class. Good night, everyone.